this week, going from 2 or 3 weeks of 3 weeks of being on top in our half guard, working our position, working our transitions, working our submissions. Now, this week we're moving ourselves to the bottom of that position. How do we counter all those things? How do we keep ourselves from being held in a position in half guard? How do we have effective transitions or stop his effective transitions? How do we get our own submissions or stop his submissions, right? So it all starts with, like anything else, if we're standing up doing our boxing, what's the first thing we would work on?
Stance.
Our stance, and where should we have our hands and our feet and kind of move around and all that stuff, right? The first thing you would learn is to put your hands up and your chin down. And that's the thing you need to know with half guard. If when we get to our half guard position, you're grabbing onto the guy like this and doing this right here, guess what? It's going to be ugly for you. You're giving him everything that there possibly is. And when I hold on to somebody, if he lets go, where can I go? Nowhere. I'm the one holding myself in this position. And this isn't a great position unless you're using a specific technique, like the lockdown or electric chair or deep half or any of those others that we're going to go over later in the week, the transitions and the submissions. But when it comes to our basic position, we don't want to just hold on to the guy, right? We want to get ourselves in the best position that we can be in. So for us, that's going to be on our side, right? Not flat on our back. One hand controlling at the bicep, the other one controlling under the chin. Hand on the shoulder, using a lever with my my knee to come up right here. And now there's 2 ways that you can have your knee right here. A lot of times I play my knee down low right here just because I like to transition from half guard. I'm not necessarily looking to stay here, I'm looking to go somewhere. When I push my knee down, this tempts him to put either hand there. It tempts him to try and pass right there to make transitions. But those things just happen to work out for what I'm looking for, right? But if I'm looking to block him, right, in this position from doing anything, and I put my knee shield up here, this can actually be a little more effective, except for against if he's trying to do a double underpass on me. When I put my knee up like that, now I have to start watching out for this, although there's counters for it. So I like my knee down, so if he starts digging that knee down to try for a double underpass, it's a lot less likely, and I can just blow him off with my wrist, right? So a couple different ways to do it, but the way that we're going to practice today is with our knee down low on the shin right here, and just our knee. I'm not going to bring my foot all the way up to right here, because if I put my foot up here and he's good at foot locks, he can actually sit right back into, there's a lot of guys that set this up to sit right back into a foot lock, right? So, first thing we're going to do is work on our posture. Now, I swear it's going to be a long introduction to this, but the other 2 parts will be real fast. I know we've done this before for most of us. Is if I find myself in the worst spot I can be in half guard, which is locked down with my near arm trapped, his knee up to my elbow or my leg pinched down, his underhook on the far side, my chin under control. This is the worst place I can be. Even if I want to, it's hard to go somewhere. So I want to transition to a better spot, whether it's a sweep to being on top or to replacing guard. Right now we're just going to try and get ourselves back to posture, because from that posture we have the most possibility of those things, submission, transition, and all that. So right here, the first one we're going to practice is getting his weight off of our chin. How do we do that? Well, it's his shoulder that's dominating us in this case, if he's doing it right. So we're going to take our bicep and bump at his neck pit this way. Why? Because that's what actually transitions that off of there. Now I have to watch out when I do this that I don't just put my feet on the ground and go like this, because if I do, he's going to mount me, right? So I need to do just enough right here and keep my knee pinched when I'm doing this. So hold on. Keep my knee pinched when I'm doing this so that knee can't just fly across. Give a little bit of a bump and bring my elbow in right to here, right? Because that elbow, him being off of my chin and my elbow being in, will now help forget my other 2 tools that I have, my top knee and my far arm, right? So I have my near arm in, my far arm goes to where it's supposed to be, my knee finds his hip right here, and then I put my other hand on his bicep. So now I'm in the best spot that I can be for my half guard, right? Even though this is really a 3/4 guard, we're still playing between our legs for the sake of this for this week. Does that make sense? So we're escaping being locked down in our half guard to a good open or 3/4 guard right here. So we're doing it by bumping him off of our chin with our legs tight and escaping our near elbow. When my elbow gets in there, it's going to give me the leverage to get my other two tools in, whether it's my knee and my arm, or then my arm and then my knee, pushing away, getting my hands where it's supposed to be, ending up in my posture. So, grab a partner back and forth, let's go. Sorry that one took so long, I don't think fast, let's go. So we find ourselves in our same predicament right here. However, this time we can't get our elbow in because he's pinching our leg really hard and sitting on it, or he's got his knee up under our armpit really hard, so I can't get it in, and he's got his head down. I'm just not getting the leverage that I need for this right here. So I'm not going to keep fighting it. I'm going to realize he's fighting right here. It's got to leave something else open. Well, this tool isn't able to escape. I'm going to escape one of my other tools. Whether it's this one or this one, in this case it's going to be this one. How do I do it? Well, it's going to be the opposite. Instead of going this way right here, I'm going to move myself this way right here. Now once again, when I do this, look at my legs. They're way up high, touching on his arms and his legs and his butt right here. So I'm not just going to do this right here, because if I all the way and put my feet on the ground, I'm going to end up getting myself past right there, right? Come out. So if I find myself right here, I'm going to, okay, so I can't escape this right here. I'm going to roll both of us this way just enough to create this opening and get this arm in. And guess what? I'm going back to the same posture. How do I do that? I roll back the other way. When I do that, now he can't keep this from being able to pop out. My knee come out and my hands get to where they need to be to protect myself, right? So this time, instead of rolling towards him to escape, we're going to roll away from him to escape. So even if he's got our elbow right here and he's hugged in tight, his hands are together, and we're having trouble getting us out right here, I'm going to go back this way. It'll get me in here, and when I go back the other way, I'm looking to scoop my forearm under his chin so I can help create that space. If he's pressing into me, there's always going to be that space if I have the control under his chin right here, and it's going to get me back to my spot that I'm going to move all my transitions from that we're going to work on for the next couple of weeks. So grab a partner back and forth, rolling away to escape our far tool, get ourselves back to our good posture and bottom half guard. Go. Okay, so
Can you show me?
So, you put all the defenses here, boom, just roll the other way a little bit, you'll be able to get that top tooling, get to that posture you wanted originally, right? And then we'll move to a good position from there. Alright, the next one. Alright, so we're not going anywhere. This one we want him to lock us down, right? It's a little more of an advanced move. Don't worry if you get it. You don't get it, I suppose, but I think once you understand it, it'll be a little easier for you. It's funny because there's not a lot of fancy rolling or anything. It's just, I had a buddy of mine in San Diego, James Nielsen, who he's a couple three-stripe white, a black belt or something off of Father Santos, and he would do this. He loved black belt.
Three-stripe white
This
belt.
guy wrecked me if you're wrong. And he would love to be on the bottom position, and you try and lock him down in half guard, and you do this to you, right? So we end up in this position right here. You're right. You're right. I just want to turn this so we can see. Alright, so finding ourselves right here, and now instead of thinking of this as being a defensive position, we're going to go offensive with it, right? We're going to take right here, and we're going to grab a good hold of the belt right here and hug everything in nice and tight and pinch the leg. So if he's trying to go anywhere, he's trying to get his leg up, his arm up, anything, right? He's stuck right here. Once I grab on right here, I'm going to take my foot, I'm going to tip this, you all right? Yeah, right to here, and drag myself right and under and through, right? So it's just a basic grab them on and sweep them all the way through. Now, if you did this to a wrestler, you would grab on top and he would pull you over the top. This isn't from, you shouldn't have to arch him that hard over the top. You can get him locked down and then do a combination of moving his body and scooting yourself out from underneath him to tip him over.
So more barrel roll and bridge?
Correct, more barrel roll and bridge.
Are you still pinching the knee long like you do on a walk around sweep?
You have to pinch the knee right here because if I just try and arch him over, I'm not going to get any roll with his hips. And he can just mount me right here. No matter how hard I lock down right here, if I do this, he's just going to mount me. So it's kind of funny to have to do this, but I have to keep my knees pinched and my feet not crossing on the ground. So when I start a little bit of an arch right here, I'm not necessarily arching him over, but I'm also pulling my hips out from underneath of him like that. That's going to be the key, is keeping them locked down. Scoot your hips out a few times and you'll feel them tip over that 45 degrees. When that happens, now I can just start putting myself all the way through and bring myself here. And halfway through the transition, you can a lot of times bring your legs out and end up in a half guard position too, right? So depends on how loose it is. If it's super tight, you're not going to need to. His belt is a little bit tight right there, so I'm having to kind of pull it up and twist in. But you'll feel where you want to get them hugged in tight. Right, like you put your lasso around them, like your Wonder Woman. You put your lasso of truth around them.
If they don't have a belt, just grab the pads and yank.
If they don't have a belt, you can lock your hands together a lot of times on this one.
I go straight away.
So he's trying to get
That's
my
what I'm
arm
saying.
Right, he's trying to get his hands right here, and I get that elbow locked down and start bringing my hips out underneath the right hip. Trying to fight it.
A double handful of double Under
That's why
Armour.
you're not here.
Right, you can do it that way also, but I like having the gi right there. It just gives me a little bit more right here than having to be stretched out. I feel like I can scoot out from underneath rather than being stuck and trying to drag myself out from underneath. I think when you try it, you'll see the difference. Try the difference between holding on to the gi at 6 and 6 or locking your hands together. But you'll feel you just need to get that arm trapped, get a hold of that leg, drag it out from underneath of them, and tip them over. Grab a partner back and forth. Let's go.